Hello, dear children. Children, do you love traveling? Yes, during our holidays, vacations, we often go to new places. And when we return, what do? We narrate about our trip to our friends, our relatives, isn't it? How we enjoyed. Today, I, your very own kahaniwali Nani, am going to tell you a story about a sailor, Lamuel Gulliver, who narrates his unique adventure to his friends. Children, this story is based on the novel Gulliver Travels, written by the famous anglo-Irish author Jonathan Swift. And the story is Gulliver's unique journey. Children, this is a story of long, long ago. There was a small city by the seashore. And in the evening, some people were seen chatting, sitting under a tree. Among them, one was Lamuel Gulliver. Children, this person Gulliver was a sailor, a captain of a ship. And everyone was asking him, "Hey Gulliver, where were you so many days? It's nearly a year since you left us. Where have you been? We were all very much worried about you." This was a long journey, isn't it? And Gulliver, he was just sitting quiet and smiling. He was also eager to tell them about his journey. He said, "Friends, be patient. Listen, my journey this time was very unique, very amazing." Hearing this, his friends exclaimed, "Oh, really? We are all very anxious to hear about it. Tell us all about it." And children, this Gulliver was a doctor, a surgeon. But he loved to watch the sea. Its waves fascinated him very much. Whenever he got a chance, he would reach the seashore and coolly watch the sea. How much he wished to travel by the sea. If anyone asked him about his wish, he would say, "Oh, I am a surgeon, but I want to sail in the sea. I want to go to new places, islands, meet new people, know about their culture, their languages." And children, one day what happened? Gulliver's wish was fulfilled. How? Yes, Gulliver got a job of a captain on a ship. Gulliver continued to say, "Friends, you remember a year ago, all of you bid goodbye to me. I started my journey as a captain of a ship. I was very, very happy. My dream had come true. I enjoyed sailing in the sea. Its water, its waves fascinated me. I would often stand on the deck, enjoy the cool breeze looking at the sea. And while sailing, we reached the middle of the sea. There was water all around. The weather was fine. Cool breeze was blowing. The sea was calm. And just then, do you know what happened? Suddenly the weather changed. A fierce wind began to blow. Our ship became unstable. Everyone on the ship became scared. I said, after all, I was the captain. I said, "Don't worry, be calm. I will try my best to keep our ship stable and safe, and soon this storm will subside. Don't worry." And really, the ship was under my control. Everyone was feeling relaxed and sure that soon the storm will subside and we will be safe. But something reverse happened. Suddenly a big wave arose and our ship overturned upside down. Hearing this, everybody shouted, "Oh God!" Then what happened? Gulliver said, "Oh, you know what happened? Every one of us fell into the sea." It was very difficult to swim and I felt I would soon be drowned. I prayed to God, "Oh God, only you can save me." I felt that was my end. I will never go back home. Everyone was there quiet. Nobody spoke. Just then Gulliver continued, "I think God heard my prayers. You know what happened? A big wave came and I was thrown upwards. That wave threw me with such force and I was very scared. I closed my eyes tightly, only praying to God. After a while, when I felt calm, I opened my eyes. And to my surprise, where was I? I was on the land. I looked around. Nobody was there. Yes, but on all sides there was water and water. Oh, I have come to a lonely island. Then I remembered all that happened, recalled my ship, my crew, but no one was there. I was all alone. Again I prayed to God, "Save my crew, save my friends, save my ship." And I was very, very tired and soon I fell fast asleep. I don't know how long I was sleeping. And when I woke up, I tried to get up. But oh, I couldn't. I couldn't move myself. I looked around. I was tied up with ropes. My hair, my hands, my feet, everything was tied up. I was shocked. Suddenly, I felt something creeping on my leg. I looked towards my leg. What was it? A tiny human, less than 6 inches tall. He came and stood on my chest. We were both staring at each other. "Oh, so small, I can put this creature easily in my pocket," I thought. That tiny man was talking to me in a strange language, but I did not understand a single word he was saying. Just then, many of such tiny humans climbed on me. They were shouting, jumping. I tried to get up, and then with a force I pulled my hand. The ropes broke. My hand was free. Seeing this, all the tiny men began running hither and thither, and they became scared. They started shooting small arrows at me, which pricked me like needles. I understood. They were scared. They considered me as a giant who would harm them. I knew I would never harm them. So, in order to gain their confidence, I lay still for some time. Now they were convinced. One of them climbed again. I was feeling very hungry. I moved my hand towards my mouth as if telling them, "Oh, I'm hungry, give me some food." And really they understood that I was asking for food. That man shouted to the others, and then what happened? They placed ladders near my mouth. They climbed with the food in small baskets and put it in my mouth. When I was full, I asked for water. They brought water in tiny barrels for me. And again I felt asleep. I woke up hearing some noises. I looked around to see what was happening. I was lying on a big wooden cart and many tiny men were pulling it. There were men with bows and arrows walking with us. I think they were soldiers. I was tied up. I began thinking, "Oh, they have made me a prisoner and taking me somewhere, maybe to jail." There were people on both sides of the road. They were looking at me in amazement. After all, I was a huge monster for them. After a while, the tiny men stopped. And then one man with a crown in his on his head came to me. Yes, he was their king. I tried hard to explain to him all that happened about the storm, about how my ship was the shipwrecked, and then that I would do no harm to them. I put my hand in front, saying I would like to be friends with him. This man was quite intelligent. He understood me and ordered the men to untie the ropes. Now I was free. He signaled to 6 men and said to them in a queer language. Friends, actually they were teachers and they taught me their language. I learned their language and I learned that the island was Lilliput Island and those humans were liliputians. The king and I became friends. All the liliputians took good care of me, arranged for food every day. They would play with me, laugh with me. And yes, they were not only they were worried about the food. Why? Because in comparison to them, I ate a lot. One day, the king told me about his enemy, Black Cusco, and requested me to help him. And one day, Black Cusco was preparing to attack Lilliput. I quickly took some rope and anchors, went underwater and tied all Black Cusco's ships and dragged them to Lilliput. Black Cusco was taken a prisoner, and then I intervened and told them to end their enmity. And yes, the king of Lilliput and Black Cusco became friends. Both of them thanked me. Now I began missing you all. I began missing home and wanted to return. And I told the king that I want to go back. All the Lilliputians worked hard and made a boat for me. They kept a lot of food on the boat and bid goodbye to me. Each one had tears in their eyes. And then I started my journey home. After about 2 days, I saw a big ship. I slowly sailed towards it, signaled them, and soon I was aboard the ship. Luckily for me, the ship was passing through our city, and in this manner I reached home safely. Friends, during all my life, I will never forget this amazing journey, this lovely journey to Lilliput and meeting those cute little Lilliputians. All of Gulliver's friends, we also enjoyed listening to your unique adventure. So children, was not that a lovely story? And we'll meet you again next week with another story. Till then, goodbye. Take care.